On television, first the headlines. The Ministry of Education reports that the start of examinations of the General Diploma for the second school term of the first round for the academic year 2017-2018 is on the 27th of May and not as announced today by Oman News Agency. The Sultanate's exports increased to 12.6 billion Omani Riyals during the last year. And Muscat and Salalah airports record more than 4 million passengers until March 2018. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in detail. The Ministry of Education denied the announcement reported by Oman News Agency about the start of examinations of the General Diploma for the second term first round for the scholastic year 2017-2018. The Ministry pointed out that the previous announced date is still valid, which was the 27th of the current month, for the start of the examinations. It further added that the individual skills, French and German language exams will start on Wednesday, the 23rd of current month. The total value of the Sultanate's exports increased to 12.6 billion Omani Riyals last year, recording an increase by 22.0%. The value of the Sultanate's exports of oil and gas reached 7.3 billion Riyals, representing 58.1% out of the total value of the registered merchandise exported last year. The Sultanate's non-oil exports recorded an increase of 32.04%, reaching 3.1 billion Omani Riyals by achieving the highest level during the past 3 years. The national carrier of the Sultanate, Oman Air, announced that it will launch its new daily flights to the Turkish city of Istanbul, starting from the 1st of June this year. The launch of the new route comes within the ambitious plans of Oman Air to expand its network. The new Istanbul route comes within the 3 new destinations which will be launched later this year, and includes Moscow and Casablanca from the 1st of July and October respectively. Oman Air new destinations will strengthen bilateral relations and trade volume between the Sultanate and these countries, in addition to opening new prospects for tourism. The number of passengers through Muscat International Airport and Salalah Airport until the end of last March increased to reach more than 4.12 million travellers. The number of passengers through Muscat International Airport until the end of last March reached more than 3.6 million, while the number of flights reached more than 28,600. From Salalah Airport, the number of passengers until the end of March reached more than 330,700 passengers, and the number of flights were more than 2,600. The Public Authority for Crafts Industries issued a decision to establish an integrated centre for aromatic plant distillation in Al Jabal Al Akhtar. The decision stated to form a work team following the implementation of all phases of the project, starting from establishing the building of the centre and supervising the work progress in the project. The Public Authority for Craft Industries clarified the centre will contribute in developing a national industry for aromatic distillation for a number of plants in various environments in the Sultanate, to produce them with high safety, health and environmental techniques. Statistics of BIA companies state that 27% only of the total waste in the Sultanate reaches the eco-friendly waste dumps. The statistics announced within an awareness campaign organised in the Governorate of Al Dakhliya. The campaign aimed to uplift the awareness level of the audience and introduce them to the importance of limiting and reducing production of wastes, in addition to ensure managing sustainability for natural resources in order to protect people's health. The company paid around 50 million Omani Riyals to get rid of waste from dumping areas, and organising such campaigns helps citizens and various institutions to know dangers caused by such practices. Still to come in our news bulletin. Zanab village in the Walaya of Baushur is famous for its natural beauty and tranquility. Welcome back to the news from the Sultan of Oman television. People continue to vote in general elections throughout today at a polling station in East Mosul, pushing the midday turnout rate above what it was 4 years ago. There had been concerns that massive displacement in the governorate and a low registration rate would keep many people from the polls. Among the voters was a nearby resident who is among many people who lost several members of her family in the fighting last year. It took Iraq forces, assisted by US-led coalition, 9 months of heavy fighting and a huge loss of civilian life to retake the city from the Daesh group. The most important thing the voters expected from the next parliament is to ensure security and stability throughout the country. This is the first parliamentary election in Iraq since the government declared its war against the Daesh group, won at the end of last year. Several thousand people rallied in Jordan to mark the 70th anniversary of what Palestinians call their Nakba, or catastrophe, when hundreds of thousands were uprooted from their homes in the Middle East war over Israel's creation. Palestinian refugees and their descendants now number several million people in the region, including more than 2 million in Jordan. Yesterday's rally took place before a large stage with a view of the Dead Sea and the Israeli-occupied West Bank. Jordanian, Palestinian, and Green Muslim Brotherhood flags flew over the crowd. Trump's decision to recognize contested Jerusalem as Israel's capital, followed by moving the US embassy in Israel there next Monday, has caused outrage in the Arab world. Former Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak said he will take a short holiday to spend time with his family after a shocking electoral defeat that ended the 60-year rule of his coalition. A leaked flight manifesto showed Najib and his wife are due to leave on a private jet to Jakarta. The news has fueled rumors that he was fleeing the country to escape possible prosecution over a massive corruption scandal involving the state fund. While denying this, Najib said he's committed to facilitating a smooth transition and transfer of power, calling for unity after the divisive polls. His holiday plans come as the calls emerge from his ruling party for Najib to step down over the election results. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas met his Cuban counterpart in Havana. Abbas held a bilateral meeting with Miguel Diaz-Canel during the official visit. The two leaders met at the Palace of the Revolution with their respective delegations. Abbas arrived in Havana Thursday night, ending a three-nation Latin American tour that included visits to Chile and Venezuela. The visit comes as the US is about to open a new embassy in Jerusalem next week, and the Gaza Strip is engulfed in violent anti-Israel protests, creating major challenges for the Palestinian Authority. Back to some more local news. In recognition of teachers' role in serving the educational progress, the Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of Dahira held a ceremony to mark Teachers' Day for the scholastic year 2017-2018. The celebration this day aims to encourage teachers to exert more efforts in educating and socializing younger generations, as they are considered future builders of the nation. The event is considered a golden opportunity for teachers to meet their counterparts, which strengthen the work spirit of teachers to put more efforts in the educational process. The event included various activities like cultural evenings, traditional dances performed by school kids, and delivering poems on the love of teachers. During the ceremony, 186 male and female teachers, supervisory and administrative personnel in the governorate were honoured. An honouring ceremony was organised for teachers by the Directorate General of Education in the Governorate of South Sharqiya. It came on the occasion of the conclusion of scholastic year. The event came to stress the role of teachers in raising and educating the young generation. It also aimed to encourage them to develop their skills and capabilities and exert more efforts to upgrade various aspects of the educational process. Sanab village in the Wilaya of Baushir in the Governorate of Muscat is one of the ancient villages that dates back to 5 centuries. It is famous for the hot water of its old village. It is a place of tranquility and natural beauty. The village contains many features of old Omani villages. It includes many farms and date palm plantations. It also has many heritage landmarks such as ancient towers and mosques. The village is surrounded by 3 wadis that enrich the water reserve of its village, which integrates irrigates all farms and plantations in the village. A celebration of completing early education of kindergarten has started taking place in the country. The proud parents and illustrious teachers were present at this special occasion at Sahwa School. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai.
Summer has arrived, marking the beginning of yearly graduation of students starting from kindergarten, proceeding to upper classes in schools and colleges within the Sultanate, where education provision flourished since 1970s under the wisdom of the Omani leadership.
استمر في العمل يا شباب وثابروا وتعاونوا لحقق الحل.
A huge number of parents, relatives, as well as teachers of schools gathered in this momentous graduation function, feeling proud of the pupils' educational achievement. The ceremony performance by the young stars indicated how devoted is the educational system in the Sultanate. It prepared them to start their journey of primary education and beyond. These students have received full attention on social, emotional, intellectual, physical and linguistic development, which allowed them to reach their full potential. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Ministry of Education reports that the start of examinations of the General Diploma for the second school term of the first round for the academic year 2017-2018 is on the 27th of May and not as announced by Oman News Agency today. The Sultanate exports increased to 12.6 billion Omani Riyals during the last year. And Muscat and Salalah airports record more than 4 million passengers until March 2018. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsrooms and the studio, it's good night.